Curitiba, Brazil. It's not Rio or Sao Paulo, but this is a city that's made a name for itself all on its own. A free-flowing transit system, lush lawns, and those subtle hints of sustainability that are all over the city. Curitiba has been touted as a model of urban planning, anticipating, innovating. It has managed to stay ahead of the curve, and this year, Curitiba won the 2010 Globe Sustainable City Award.
We work very hard to provide sustainable public transportation, sustainable public buildings, and to maintain our city environment friendly. This is a history that has been built over the years, and we are making sure that we give continuity.
The task of designing the city was first given to the French architect Alfred Agache. It brought the city large avenues that remain today, but much of that plan was too expensive for the time.
You can understand the city.
So, Jamie Lerner, the architect and three-time mayor of Curitiba and the former governor of Paraná state, took over. Lerner was one of the main people in what became known as the Master Plan, created in the mid-1960s. The original plan for Curitiba, the idea of the boulevard, the idea of it was an expensive plan that couldn't be implemented. But where does this history of planning here come from?
Every city has a design, a structure. It's a scenario that everyone understands, and they understand is desirable.
So what was your scenario for Curitiba?
Well, a city which should have a good quality of life, a city which could provide opportunities, a city where everyone could have some of his dreams realized.
Lerner's dreams live on throughout Curitiba. He travels to give other cities advice on urban planning, emphasizing you must not only have a plan, but you actually have to get things done.
To do it fast, you have to avoid your own bureaucracy. You have to avoid, since the discussion is done, the political decision is done, you have to do it fast.
Lerner took us to perhaps one of the best illustrations of this must get things done approach to planning. The Wire Opera House.
Una furtiva lagrima. That's terrible. Better keep in design. This theater was built in 2 months.
2 months to build this.
Yeah, and that's what I call this acupuncture. It's a small intervention that can provide a new energy to the city.
Under Lerner, Curitiba started many things. Pedestrian precincts, a bus system that functions like an above-ground subway, a network of parks, and a slew of environmental programs. Initiatives from 30 years ago, but for the most part, they still translate today. Since the master plan, the population here has practically tripled to 3.5 million people. It's put the city to the test, with the newest challenge being something near and dear to almost every Brazilian's heart: the World Cup. Curitiba is one of the host cities when the Cup comes to Brazil in 2014. In many ways, the future is now uncomfortably close. This is the Arena de Baixada, where at least 3 of the World Cup matches will be played in 4 years' time. As you can see, it needs total renovation to almost double its capacity. A true test for a city that's prided itself on planning. The World Cup could make or break Curitiba's future reputation.
We have to improve our urban infrastructure, not only the accessibility aspect, but the bicycle lanes, pavement, lighting, security. These are big challenges that we have. We understand that the World Cup is a big event where thousands of people visit and get to know the city.
What Jamie Lerner started here is an attitude to adapt, a desire to inspire, where new generations will care enough about their city to plan for its future.
What's your dream for this city?
Keeping innovative. The more you mix urban functions, the more you mix incomes, the more you mix religions, ages, the more human the city became. And that's my dream for a city.
In economic theory, the black swan stands as a symbol for the completely improbable, the totally unexpected. And how appropriate that I find a black swan here at the University of the Environment, because Curitiba has spent its entire history planning for what might happen. And even today, it's a city that's truly planning for the future. Richard Quest, CNN, Curitiba, Brazil. Towering above Curitiba, fanned out like green umbrellas, the Araucaria, or Brazilian pine tree, has become a symbol of the city that's committed to protecting it.
Well, parks in Curitiba is kind of part of our history and our heritage.
Pretty and also practical. Curitiba started building parks to ease the effects of being located on a floodplain.
We didn't have the money to do major construction work, and what we're going to do is create a lake around this occupied area, and this lake is going to hold the water when the rain comes. It's going to make it go slower, so when it comes back normal, it can flow with no problem to anybody.
So in 1972, two of the first parks were built, equipped with lakes to act as buffers between floodwaters and the city. A plan that was 5 times cheaper than building canals or levees. Today, Curitiba has 33 public parks and countless city squares, making this city literally green. Many of the parks are repurposed spaces, like the University of the Environment, which used to be a rock quarry. There are parks to celebrate the immigrant heritage of the city, and even parks where sheep are used to help cut the grass. In all, it totals more than 50 square meters of green space per citizen. Even the mayor's office is in a park. It looks more like a treehouse rather than an office.
Brazil is internationally known for its preservation efforts throughout the country. Curitiba stands out from other places in Brazil because it was the first city to be directly concerned with the environment. The recent focus on the environment and the concepts of sustainability have been practiced for quite a while in Curitiba, and I think that this is what makes the difference. And it makes Curitiba a model for other cities in Brazil.
A walk through the John Paul II Park, and we're hard pushed to realise we're only 5 minutes from downtown Curitiba. This is a magnificent example of natural forest. The authorities here, though, have gone further. They not only wish to preserve what they've got, they want to extend the reach of the green areas, introducing new forests and green spaces.
Well, to me, preservation is part of my life philosophy.
Teresina's Vareschi's house sits on 36,000 square metres of mostly forested land. This land could have been long gone by now if it weren't for the government-sponsored programme Con Bio.
We are visiting the 1,000 properties to value them and to convince them to preserve and take very good care of it. A person can create an area on their property to conserve the forest and in return receive benefits.
Residents like Teresina get anywhere from 10 all the way up to 100% property tax breaks if she preserves her land.
The last few years I used to feel alone, as if I were on an island and that island was being invaded. I was being invaded by building developments. This was an invasion by building contractors starting to build houses. There have been many offers over $500,000, but I think it's priceless. Preservation does not have a price.
Contractors have frequently targeted Teresina's property, but since she's made the decision to preserve it, Conbayo helps her make money a different way. She can't sell her land, but she can sell what is called building potential. This means Curitiba will find another piece of land for the contractor, where they can build and forests won't be destroyed.
As a city that is garnering increased attention, Curitiba will attract many new projects. We have managed to take good care of this, merging the advances of the city while taking care of the environment, and most importantly, being very aware to take care of our people, so we can maintain positive development for the city.
It's a huge family united in the same fight, and we all need the help. Sponsors, organizations, domestic and international, to help us keep these projects alive.
The needs of developers will always be in demand in our future cities. But here in Curitiba, they have balanced green with growth, whether by maintaining the downtown forests or recreating the gardens of a European past. Richard Quest, CNN, Curitiba, Brazil.